Hi, I'm heading out for a walk on this beautiful fall day, and there's the sauna and the well. And Comet. I've been thinking a lot about grit. My daughter came home kind of wound up saying, I don't want to have grit. They had watched a TED Talk of Angela Duckworth in her AP language class, and Sarah was not impressed. I think she wasn't impressed because she was thinking about math and how many of her friends are taking college math as high school students, and they are a little stressed out with the calculus and pushing themselves pretty hard. And Sarah said, I don't want to work harder at math than I'm working. She's working plenty hard at Algebra 2. She's a smart kid, but she's not a math whiz. She has other interests, other goals. I pointed out that she does have grit when it comes to dance and theater opportunities. She does everything she can find in our small town along those lines. And I was thinking about ALS and how we have goals in managing this disease, and we need to decide if we're going to have different interventions. And I say we, even though I'm just the spouse of Todd, my husband, who has ALS, because it really is a family disease. Todd is really dependent on me for everything right now because he's paralyzed. I frequently need to clear out his lungs, and it takes a lot of grit to keep going. For me, in the caregiving, it's physically challenging, emotionally challenging, and for Todd, it's also really physically challenging because he has a lot of discomfort from not moving and having air blowing in and out of his nose day and night. So what keeps us going? You know, I think about our goals, and a lot of it is the kids. We want to do what's best for them, and he's a really good dad and is invested in them, and I'm glad that he has this time with them, so I keep going, and he keeps going. And so he decided to get a feeding tube, and he decided to get non-invasive ventilation. But he thinks it would be too much to get a trach, and he doesn't really want that life, and he thinks it would be too much for me. And I kind of think so too. I couldn't leave him to go on my walks, which is kind of how I stay sane. And so we make these decisions based on our goals, and we have to have grit to accomplish our goals, whatever that may be. It doesn't mean that we have more or less grit for those who choose different levels of intervention with this disease. It's just that we might have different goals or different desires for what kind of quality of life we want to have, different levels of resources, support, wealth, to be able to keep going and to be able to stay sane and take care of our families.